Hey y'all. Now I wanted to start off the video by answering a question that nobody asked. Tristan, where's your grandpa? Well, that's for me to know and you to never find out. Anyway, I wanted to continue the series of debunking anti-communist arguments that we got going here, and specifically I wanted to address the arguments that communism refers to a society in which nobody owns anything because the government would just take all your property. Now, this argument, or this misconception really, it comes from one quote mostly in the Communist Manifesto, and this quote comes from Marx. And the quote goes like this: "The theory of the communists can be summed up in a single sentence: abolition of private property." Now, a lot of people take this to mean that private property is the same as property that you personally own. So private property is the same as personal property. Now, this misconception is kind of cleared up by Marx earlier in the manifesto. And the way he clears it up is like this. Marx says, "The distinguishing feature of communism is not the abolition of property generally, but the abolition of bourgeois property." So basically what Marx means by this is he's not saying that communists want to abolish all property. So communists wouldn't want to abolish like your personal property and take your personal property. So personal property would refer specifically to property that you don't use to reproduce capital. So some examples of personal property would be like your toothbrush, your bed, your Jackson Pollock painting that you own because you're an idiot. And that would pretty much, sum up some examples of like, personal property. Obviously you don't use your toothbrush or your bed to reproduce capital. And this is kind of distinguished from bourgeois property, which is property that exists because it serves the purpose of trying to reproduce capital. Now, Marx kind of says here, he establishes that communists don't want to abolish your personal property, they only want to abolish private bourgeois property that exists for the purpose of reproducing capital and sustaining the capitalist system. And that would pretty much wrap up the subject and wrap up the video as a whole. Thank you for watching.